Scramble! Tigers! Alex Twell! Alex Twell has ended up with a ball! Oh no! Unbelievable! One small step for man! One giant leap for Alex Twell!
Welcome to the ultimate Supercoach and Fantasy Sports Show. You are now listening to the Inside Fantasy Sports Podcast.
G'day guys, welcome back. It is the countdown show for Insight NRL. We're back to answer all of your questions in the lead up to round 25 of NRL Supercoach. It's a big week, it's semi-finals. Mattrix and I, funnily enough, are versing each other in a league, and this is what I told him when he thinks he can win.
Tell him he's dreaming.
How are you, mate? Doing well?
Oh, just in my element. I've got some bolters. The footy's on tonight. I'm going to do a late NBA pod. I tell you what, it's all coming up good. Go the Sharkies tonight. I reckon they're specials.
Yeah, I think the Sharkies are nice at, what, $2.50 or something? I mean, we're not a punting podcast, but I tell you what, if I was telling someone to have a bet, that'd be the one tonight. I'm going to back them in. I'm backing them in tonight. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk NRL Supercoach. We've got a few comments coming through. And guys, that's why we're here. Drop your comments in. Drop your questions in. We'll answer them. All your start-sit questions, all of your captaincy and vice-captaincy questions, all your last-minute burning trade questions, we're here to cover them. So we'll do our best to rip into those. And to kick us off, Brad and Sally Ferguson are on. And specifically, it looks like Brad's on tonight. Howdy, guys. I'm wondering if it's a consideration to sit for Fifita this week. His matchup's not great. Played a strong day of the Panthers. And hey, look, he's got logic there. You've got to realistically, anybody who plays the Panthers, Matty, I'm sitting them, but not David Fifita. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I would consider it, but who am I going to play instead? Isaiah Papali'i. He does have a good matchup, but he doesn't really have that attacking upside anyway. And I'm quite often chasing upside. So yeah, I get this little visual of David Fifita just picking it up from dummy half, just burrowing over the line. You know how when there's 20 seconds to go, quite often he just kicks it, forces a line drop out, and I just think lock him in for at least 50. And for Isaiah Papali'i or Hudson Young, I see that popped in the chat. I will be playing David Fifita this week. I'm not confident about it, but I'm going to be doing it.
So Brad's mentioned in the comments that he would play Nickera over Fifita. Personally, I'm playing both this week. I don't know what your team looks like, Brad, but it must be fucking goated. Because if you have the choice to play either Nickera or Fifita, you're in a fantastic spot. And Craig makes a really good point in the chat saying that start v sit this week is hard. There are a lot of questionable matchups, a lot of kind of even matchups. Rabbitohs match up against the Newcastle Knights is a bit of a 50-50 one, isn't it? And then we've got tonight, the Cowboys versus the Sharks. We don't know which Sharks team's going to turn up. So there are a lot of questionable ones that we'll talk through tonight. Paul's on. Hey, mate, welcome back. He's back for another Insight NRL pod. Paul, I reckon, has created some form of Insight NRL streak at the moment. I don't think he's missed a pod for about a month. Absolutely love having you, mate. And Mark's back on as well. We've got Juva. We've got Adam S. is back as well. So thanks for hopping in the chat, guys. And obviously we'll cover all your questions as we go. But Matty, let's talk your thoughts first, mate. What are you thinking in terms of trades? And then we'll talk starts versus sit.
So I've got two left, and the only one, and shout out to Des Creek. I know you did a pod earlier on in the week with him. Just mentioning Valame's matchup tonight, Semi Valame, not to be confused with Semi Radradra or Semi Trailer, but just a really good matchup tonight at 550k. If you had any question marks, honestly, if it was the Rabbitohs bye this week, I'd be bringing in Valame, but just thought I'd bring it up. Paul's just said in the chat that he thinks that I would be short with the Broncos. I've very rarely had a Bronco in my team. They're actually going to come to my funeral so that they can let me down one more time. But I don't allow them to do that with my Supercoach team. My draft team is in absolute shambles with Billy, Paddy Carrigan, and Katoni Staggs out though. So
We were talking about this earlier where I wish I was playing you in draft this week. That would have been beautiful because you're full of Broncos there, just to make up for the fact you've got none in your classic team. So I'm versing Matty G, the host of the Insight NBA pod this week, and he has Nathan Cleary. So I'm actually very fucking nervous that Matty G is going to knock me off at my own game. So, I mean, unless I get one back on him in NBA and beat him in an NBA comp later in the year, I'm going to feel pretty insecure about myself. So hopefully I can get a dub there.
If he takes Austin Reeves where I think he's going to, I'm backing you in NBA anyway. So
we know how you feel about that one. We'll leave that one to the NBA pod. Craig is starting Hudson over Tohu and Bateman. If I had the option to sit Tohu Harris this week, I still wouldn't, because every fucking time you sit him, he scores a meat pie. Last 2 weeks, he's dominated, and he's scored 2 tries in the last 2 weeks. He's got 80 and 90 or whatever it's been, and people have been sitting him left, right, and center. I don't think I want to sit Tohu. I think the attacking stats are there for him, and it's another nice matchup. Friday night, they playing tomorrow night, aren't they? The Warriors against Manly?
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like Tohu as a matchup this week. Johnny Bateman against the Dolphins as well. He's a bloke that could easily jump over. But in saying that, I want to find a way to play Hudson Young this week, and I just can't do it. And I know you have Huddy as well. Are you sitting him?
Craig, step into my office. I've had a look at on the Discord in our resources, and we've got the little try map. And the Bulldogs let in all their tries on the wing. They have been woeful in general, but the Bulldogs have let in 14 on the wing, 12, and they've let in 20 tries to centers, 24 to wingers, but only 12 to second rowers. And on that side, they've only let in 4. I am not playing Hudson Young this week. I am playing the ball playing lock in Tohu Harris, and I would be finding a way to play Johnny Bateman this week against the Dolphins. I am a big believer in Huddy. I love Hudson Young. He watched one of our videos the other day. I was pumped about it, but big fanboy, but not playing him this week.
Yeah, we won't do a photo. We won't put up a video on socials this week of us not playing him. Otherwise, he probably won't like us. He's also starting Ronaldo Mulatalo over AJ and Carraz. I understand playing over Carraz. I get that move. AJ has scored 15 tries in the last 9 games against the Newcastle Knights. So that's something to keep in mind. I know Ronaldo plays tonight, so you've got to make this decision in the next 40 minutes before kickoff. I still prefer AJ over Ronaldo. With Latrell and Cody on that left-hand side, it's just such a lethal combination. Cody Latrell to AJ, like, it doesn't matter who he plays. It just seems like he gets over the line these days.
I tried to find a reason to trade out a Rabbitoh this week to just make it a little bit easier, maybe get a good matchup this week and a good matchup next week before their bye. I had a look at those stats on AJ. I couldn't warrant trading AJ out to Valame, even if it meant making, I think it makes me $100,000, gives me the flexibility to go to just about everybody except Scott Drinkwater next week. And I just couldn't do it. I just have to play AJ. And if I had Ronaldo Mulatalo, much like the Broncos for the last 15 years, he will just let you down one more time. Yes, he had a good week. Yes, we remember. But remember all those 30s and 40s and what the 15 that he got in the last 5 weeks.
Yep, I'm with you. So did we get to your trades? Are you making a trade, making a move this week?
No, I'm not making any. That's why I beat around the bush a little bit. I've only got 2 trades left, and I will probably use them next week on maybe Cody Walker and Latrell, depending on where they're sitting. Maybe just one of them. I don't have any Eels in my team, so I've strategically moved all my Eels out for these last 4 games.
I only have 1 Eel left after this week, and it's going to be Matty Dory. Fuck, what a servant he's been to Sheensy's revival this year. He's been the greatest nuff ever.
Shout out to
Sheensy's revival. The poor bloke, fuck me. He's long gone. You know, like my Supercoach team's done much better than his career.
He's in the ICU.
Yeah, he's had a Barry. He's had a Barry Crocker. Poor Sheensy. I am doing Jermaine Hopgood to Eliesa Katoa this week. And you know how much that leaves me in the bank? $226,000 to do whatever the fuck I want in the next 2 weeks. And that could even be, all right, ready for this? That could even be, for the next 2 rounds, Damien Cook to Harry Grant. And you know how fucking much better I would sleep at night if I had Harry Grant in my team? I will bring Harry Grant in round 1, 2024 if he costs me $1.2 million, and he will never leave my team. I will not trade him out during the buys. I will not trade him out during the origin period. He just stays in my team all year, and I don't think twice because he's buried me this year.
Do you have Latrell?
Yep.
Because I've got another option for you. And let me give you some advice. As somebody that's sitting 8,000th, I think I want to put my 2 cents in.
Please.
You could go Latrell to Scotty Drinkwater for the last 2 games, get 2 games of Scott Drinkwater instead of 1 game of Latrell.
I like the Latrell trade out, if I'm completely honest. I don't mind that at all.
That's what I would do if given the opportunity. I might even find myself nuffing Cody to do something similar. I've toyed with it in the background. I'm just getting through this week and going to tackle it then.
I'd just like to ask what crack that you're on, bringing in Drinkwater for round 27 versus the Panthers.
A lot. I just...
They got the Dolphins round 26, to be fair.
Yeah, and that's a captain option. So...
Yeah, look, there are a few other captaincy options, but I'm with you. I do like it. I just don't know whether I want Drinkwater for round 27 with only 2 trades left. If I had 4 trades and I could just go bang, bang next week with 2 and then the final week with 2, I'd do that because I could just go Drinkwater next week for the matchup, Drinkwater out for a nice matchup in round 27, but I don't think I want to. Latrell plays the Knights into the
I'm going to give you some Nico hindsight. Maybe you shouldn't have traded Carraz in and out 4 times.
Only twice. Only twice. I brought him in twice. The second time he didn't even play for me. I brought him in early, a week early, and then his wrist was busted or something, or his ankle or his elbow, or fuck knows what it was. And then, I traded him straight back out. So thanks, Carraz. I wasted 2 trades on him. That was sad. All right, let's quickly tackle some more questions. We got carried away, didn't we? But it's what we do here at Insight. If you don't want to listen to us get carried away, you're in the wrong spot. Juva wants to know, play one out of Azarko, Ronaldo, Mulatalo, or AJ. I'm playing Azarko this week against the Tigers, personally. I don't know why, but there's just something that tells me that not only do the Tigers let in the most tries to right wingers in the competition, 22 tries they've let in this year to right wingers, but Tigers don't play well when they're the favourites. This game is going to be much closer, regardless of how many Dolphins are out sitting on the pine at the moment. I still feel this is going to be a competitive game. So I like Azarko's goal kicking.
To be completely honest, Tigers don't play the best when they're the underdogs either. So
they just don't play good. To that. End of story.
Yeah. So, I would be finding, honestly, I don't know what sort of teams you guys have. You're obviously doing better than me, but I would be finding a way to play Asako and AJ this week.
Who would you sit?
But yes, probably Asako if I had to. I would sit Ronnie out of those.
So, I mean, most people are going to have Alex Johnston, or not most people, but some people, if they listen to the pod, they'll have AJ. You have Ruben Garrick, probably. They've got Ronaldo Mulatalo. They've probably got Greg Marju. What are the other popular options? Joey Manu is probably a very popular centre wing option. Who are you sitting out of those guys?
Here's some spice. I would sit David Fafita if it meant playing Asako or AJ this week.
Ooh. Put that at 13:30.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, honestly, Fafita he's playing the Panthers. AJ and Asako look, say what you like about the way that the Knights have been. They haven't been that good defensively. They've been an offensive powerhouse. I like AJ's matchup against the Knights. And I like Asako's matchup. I considered bringing Asako back in after dumping him weeks ago. I can't do it. I don't have the trades left, but I would be heaven and earth. Like if you're playing Hudson Young, if you're playing Isaiah Papali'i, if you're playing Max Kings, if you're playing Reed Marnies, if you're playing Reece Robsons, whoever you're playing, Asako and AJ are blokes you need to play this week.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Completely agree. Adam S. Think I've got a VC Nico with Garrick, my only likely drop for the loop. Fair play, or consider dropping Marju to open more VC options. I mean, look, Marju's running at Tane Milne, isn't he, this week? So, I mean, Tane Milne's not the best defender. I feel like Marju is a must-play most weeks. Probably this week, I think he's a must-play, just with the base that he has. You know, you're going to get 50 from him at worst case. Best case, you're going to get 130. So, I think he's a play. But, I mean, you drop Garrick as your only option. Your team must be pretty set, like in terms of depth, Adam. If you can only drop Garrick, I've got Valence Tavare, I've got Munro, I've got Dory not playing, and I've got Hammer. So I've got
Honestly,
4 players not playing this week.
No, he's right. Honestly, VC Nico, just drop Garrick out against the Warriors in New Zealand if you have to.
I think
what have you got to lose? 80?
VC Nico into the problem is now he's pigeonholed himself and he can't captain Cleary by doing that. And for me, Cleary is Cleary. Well, even if he doesn't, right, he's pigeonholing himself by not being able to captain Sean Johnson in a nice matchup. Yep. You know what I mean? So, like, when you're vice captaining Nico, who are you captaining? That's probably the better question, because now you can't captain probably 2 of the best captain options for the week. So, one thing to consider, I guess. Brad's going to sit for feeder, which is, I really hope this works out. Actually, I don't hope it works out for you, because that means that Fafita would have stunk it up for me. But hey, if you make this move and it works out full on, fantastic. Mark is going to break his Thursday night rule. Big balls. Big balls. Like Stan in South Park, wheelbarrowing his balls around town. That's how big his balls are. Might break his Thursday night rule, Mark. Mark's got a very big Thursday night rule that I'm actually adopting this rule myself, to never VC or C on a Thursday night. And he's thinking of VCing Nico instead of Cleary. Have a backup captain of Munster or Ponga. Need to make up ground. Can't go with the crowd. And I completely get this. If you're playing overall, the very popular captain option this week, I think Ponga's 40% captain and Cleary 39%. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's pretty close. And we've got Munster that's 6% captained at the moment. So for me, I am captaining Munster and VC and Cleary this week. I can make it happen if I swap Ty Munro for AJ. It means I have to drop AJ. I'll probably then drop Marju instead. But I can make that work. I don't mind it. I think it's not a bad play, to be honest.
I am going to, and we may as well just get into it while we're here. It's going to be up on the screen when we go through our matchups this week anyway. I'm going to vice captain C and K, and I'm going to captain Cleary this week.
Yeah, nice. That was what I was toying around with. If I wasn't going to VC Cleary, I'd have to see him, which I think that's probably the decision. You need to decide whether you're VCing or seeing Cleary. It has to be one. If you've got Nathan Cleary, he needs to be a vice captain or a captain this week with that matchup.
100%.
Let's push on. Terry King, welcome back, mate. Hi, fellas. I've got Mitchell Moses. I need to get rid of him. I was going to buy Cam Munster, but heard he could be out. So, yes, Cam Munster, the news has come out saying that there is a chance that his partner has their child this weekend. We're going to know tomorrow night. So, Cam Munster tomorrow, the Melbourne Storm travel to Sydney. So, we'll know tomorrow whether he travels to Sydney or not. Honestly, this is deja vu from SJ about a month ago when his partner was about to have their second kid. So I think what we'll know tomorrow. So if you can get through to tomorrow without having to make a decision on who your captain is, you're going to know then whether Cam Munster's travelled. Look, if she goes into labour, he might get on a plane and head back, really. But then you just swap out. Hopefully you've got Ponga at 5'8", and you just go Ponga straight back in. Munster can sit on the pie, and you change your reserve, and you're sweet.
I love Munster this week, but I don't understand why Terry's not going Moses to SJ.
Yeah, if you have the question is, do you have a trade? Maybe Terry doesn't have any trades left.
I thought he was trading Moses to.
Oh, he's bringing in Munster.
Yeah, so
do you think? So would you
he's
say
using a
that?
trade.
Would it should be? So are you saying it should be Moses to SJ?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So you're saying that over the Storm draw, what if Munster plays this week?
I tell you what, you don't have to take the risk if you go SJ. Again, watch the planes, do everything. Munster's a good play. I'm not saying it's not, but take the question marks out. SJ's been in tremendous form. He's about to play on a flat track in New Zealand against Manly, who have struggled. But he could be another 140 this week.
What about SJ's quad injury? He's not goal kicking.
I mean, at least it's not a baby. He doesn't have another one on the way.
Fuck, you'd hope not. Be some sort of weird bloody wizardry shit going on there if he does. But no, look, I get it. SJ's great, and so is Munster. I already have Munster, so it's not a conversation for me to have. But
okay, me too.
I'm just a little concerned about the quad.
I've got Munster. My concern is, as a non-owner, I think I would nearly be more scared to have I'm scared not having SJ.
Fair call.
I obviously
I
have
am
the
too.
relief of having Munster. Yeah.
I feel better having C and K. I haven't had him for the majority of the season, but I feel better having C and K knowing that I don't have SJ. That's a nice stack, though, if you have SJ and C and K.
Isn't it a great feeling just having C and K in your team?
So good. And it's even better feeling that he's actually back playing for my team this week after getting knocked the fuck out. Thoughts on not playing Fafita? Matthew Jones wants to know. We talked about this a little bit at the start, mate. I think that Fafita is a must play every single week. And I think you agree.
I do. I was just saying when they had when you look at Asako and AJ's matchups, and I suppose it depends who you're not going to play. Like the guy that I would play instead of Fafita is Isaiah Papali'i. Absolutely see no upside in there. Doing the same with Hudson Young. Fafita will outscore Hudson Young this week. You've heard it here first. Yeah, look, I will be playing Fafita. I would be trying to play Fafita, but there's some good questions really popping up about who to start and sit, and Asako and AJ must play.
Yep, with you. 100%. Let's give a very quick shout out to our sponsors of the show. First of all, the Standard Squeeze. Obviously, the Standard Squeeze have been on board all year and great blokes over there. Use the code INSIGHT15. Matty's got his little 4-in-1. You got your 4-in-1 with your beer there?
Sure. Yeah, my 4-in-1's still got coffee in it at work. Thanks for pointing that
out. Terrible.
I'm wearing my fucking hat.
Yeah, fair call. No, but shout out to the Standard Squeeze. You can use the code INSIGHT15. Go to thestandardsqueeze.com, get yourself 15% off everything in store, some quality stuff. I've got some Captain Morgan in my squeeze this week. Usually I haven't filled this up for about 3-4 weeks, but I'm back. So
fuck, you're more fun on the piss too.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'm having a rip snorter.
Have you? Yeah, good. All right, cool. I got my 4-in-1 as well. So you guys can get both of those things. Insight15 is the code. Get yourself some money off. Save yourself some coin. Go and spend it on the missus. Buy some flowers. All that cool stuff. Or actually just buy yourself something. And another shout out to Ryan from Astute Newstead. Obviously a new sponsor to the podcast. Very excited to have him on board. And look, if you're wondering about which bank is the best bank, if you're wondering if your current rates are currently too high or if your dream home is even affordable at all, you don't have to worry anymore because we've got Ryan from Newstead, Astute Newstead on board, gives you confidential lending advice with no obligation. So get in touch with him on 0431 766 784. That's 0431 766 784. Email ryanh@eganwealth.com and use the code INSIGHT. And he will look after you with a no obligations free consultation. What a man. Speaking of the great man, Ryan from Astute Newstead, he's actually in the comments right now. And we're going to throw one of his up because he wants to know, should he captain or VC, sorry, Nico Hines or SJ? We've talked about this. Pick one now.
SJ. Hope this helps.
Yeah, good. I'm going to say Nico, just to make it easy, because he just said in the comments after, whatever you say, I'm doing the opposite. And we just said both. So you've been punked. Thanks, Ryan, for coming. All right, Paul, they will start resting Harry Grant next week. I'm not 100% sure on that. The Storm have way too much to play for to be resting their best player.
They got to get that home. Like, if the Warriors win this week, Storm still need to be playing at home. It's a big advantage for them. It's a fortress down there.
Yeah, maybe not as much of a fortress as it used to be in the Cam Smith days, but they still play better. Paul is saying Dane Gagai in the chat. I don't know whether I'm too far behind on this one, but he's said it about 3 times. So Dane Gagai must be good. He is.
Yeah, he's
a
good
player.
He is 730K or something. He is a lot of money at the moment. I would find it hard to bring him in with limited trades, but if I had 4 trades, I'd get Gagai onto my team. Yeah,
for sure. 100%. I'm 10K short of him this week. Shattered. Okay. So Raymond Crane is sitting for Fafita and playing Eli Katoa. There's so many people in the chat here sitting David Fafita or wanting to sit David Fafita, and I understand the logic, but there's no way in the world I'm sitting that guy. He could bust through anybody in the comp, and that's what I'm backing this week. I don't care if Kieran Foran's out. I reckon he could go big.
Yep.
Yeah. So being a Mighty Panthers supporter, Terry King is still playing Tino and still playing David Fafita. The man knows. The man knows his football. Matthew Jones, 2 trades left. He's in the top 100. Whoa, bringing it home. Bring
Big
on the
deal.
carnage. Last 2 weeks to make a run. That's top 100 is awesome. Good on you, mate. Are you in our, let us know, Matthew, if you're in our unlimited league, because maybe he's one of those 3 teams in the top 100. Has to be.
Yeah, he might be. He might be one of those blokes that that caught on a bit later because we started that comp at the start of the year. So
Could have done. Rowan has 4 trades left, 1 cash out, and wants to do 3 upgrades. Would you risk it for the biscuit? Enough Cody, I'm assuming Cody Nicarima, for all the dollary dues. Bit of Ned Flanders about that.
playing my
Or would you
didgeridoo.
go Graham so that there is still backup to Harry Grant? No, I don't. I think you don't need to go back up to Grant because you've got 4 trades. If Harry Grant goes down injured or whatever it be, you use one of those trades then to go and get another hooker. So I don't think you need the backup. I would just go with 1 complete cash out and then just go bang 3 upgrades for your final 3 trades.
Can I ask you a question? Who's the second best hooker in Supercoach at the moment?
I don't even know. It's a fucking wasteland.
Yeah,
Blake Brayley, maybe.
yeah, I think it is. I'm just gonna look it up. But I looked earlier on in the week, and it's actually still Damien Cook and then Blake Brayley. So and then it's Reid Marnie. So
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, hey, you know who's a smoky option if you just want to be really different? Chris Randall from the Gold Coast Titans. The guys have been a fucking beast over the last month. He now, what's his name? Sam Verrills is out for the season, unfortunately. Collarbone surgery. It's his 4th collarbone surgery, by the way, the poor bloke. Yeah. Chris Randall starts at hooker now. He doesn't have to start in the 13. He's not getting bench minutes. He'll probably play close to 80 minutes. They've got no one else. I don't mind Chris Randall as a player. The guy's, he gets the work done.
And look, we're only saying, look, if Harry Grant gets injured, who do you bring in?
Yeah,
Chris Randall.
You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it if Harry Grant doesn't get injured. So hopefully for everybody involved, he doesn't.
Fucking wizard.
If Munster is not playing, he's going to put the VC. Paul is going to put the VC on Harry Grant and the C on Cleary. You can't put the VC on. No, you can't. So Harry Grant's playing before Cleary. No, Harry Grant's playing after Cleary, so that won't work.
Yeah,
so you're going to have to reverse
Cleary,
that. VC Cleary,
Harry.
C Harry. Yep. Captain Nico tonight talked about this a little bit. I mean, straight captain on a Thursday night, not a fan, but VC, I can live with that. Shots. So maybe put the VC on him and captain someone a little bit later in the week.
We believe
someone like Cleary to have him.
We believe Cleary's a better option. I believe SJ's a better option as well.
Yep. Rowan loves his tipsy trades on Twitter as well. If anyone doesn't follow Rowan, I'm sure maybe he'll drop his Twitter in the comments. We'll go and follow him. But tipsy trade in Luai over Munster. I think you're fucking insane.
No, hope this helps. That's awful.
Don't do it. I mean, that is I wouldn't call that tipsy. I'd call that fucking maggot. SJ is my other half with Nico Adams saying he's got Ponga and Munster as his main choices, or risk a Grant C and K captain. I mean, VC C and K into a captaincy Grant. Don't hate it.
VC C and K into a captaincy Munster and then move to Grant.
If Munster's out, move to Grant.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Love it. Mark's a little bit concerned about C and K being out last minute. Now, I'd say if they've named him, so when they named teams on Tuesday, that was his 11 days stand down officially completed on the Tuesday. So I'd say if they've named him, he's ready to go. So I don't know whether there's going to be any late outs unless any late concussion symptoms kick back in.
I'd be scared if he was named 18th man. I'm not scared there. Oh, mate, just got
he has
named
mentioned
18. He just got named 18 because he did a really good job when C&K. That's just rewarding him.
He may even slide his way onto the bench to a picky. So you never know. Or he's ranked 73rd. So we would have probably mentioned Matt and Matt's team on the pod on Tuesday when we announced the squeeze of the week winners. So 3rd, he's chasing down Lane Train. So that'll be a very interesting run home. Good on yous. Bazo wants to know, did you guys see the 2 Timmy heads today? You are rocking my Supercoach world. Cookie for a try. 2 Timmy heads? What have I missed?
This isn't where I parked my car. Cookie for a try. You beauty.
if Damien Cook scores a try, I'll be very happy. I'm going to start him this week over Reed Marnie, so I'm all in for that. All right. Yeah, everyone still likes Damien Cook. Hamo's playing Marnie over Cook this week. So he's doing the opposite of me. I'm playing Cook over Marnie. He's playing Marnie over Cook. What are your thoughts on this? Look at recent games.
I'm playing Reed Marnie over Reece Robson this week. I just like the way that Reed Marnie's been playing the last little bit. He's coming off an 82. He's got a similar sort of average. I would probably still play Cook against Newcastle, though.
Let's look at Cook's last 3 games. Let's determine this right now. Damien Cook's last game against Newcastle, he hasn't played Newcastle for 3 years, mind you. The last time he played Newcastle was round 10 in 2020, and he scored 138 points, and he also scored 92 against them back in 2018. That's not relevant enough for me to take data from that. Reed Marnie's last 3 games against the Raiders, he scored 66 in round 10, 53 last year when he was playing for the Eels, and then 101 back in 2021. So when you're looking at form, I can't take any form from Damien Cook. And Reed Marnie's got a 60 and a 50 in there, which doesn't really light me up either.
In 2021, I was 20 kilos lighter. You should have seen how fast I was too. It's not relevant.
Quick play the balls, fast from hooker, dominant around the ruck.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, good.
Could drink 6 beers before I played.
Yeah, a lot of people are captaining Cleary in the chat, which is great. Justin's still holding Isaac Tungo. Ooh. Oh, goodness me, that hurts. I feel for you, man. We've got about 20 minutes before the first game kicks off, Matty. Let's quickly share screen. We'll get to yours first. You can talk through team, start, sit, and then let's have a look at our matchup because we're playing each other this week. I want people in the comments to let us know who they think is going to win. So we'll quickly change.
And then tell us why it's me.
Well, that won't be correct at all, but we can try.
So is this me up first?
Yeah.
So I am
my screen share work well.
Yeah, cool. I have 2 trades left. I'm electing to play Reed Marnie over Reece Robson. Call it a gut feeling. Reed Marnie's coming off 82. Reece Robson's coming off a fantastic rest. I am playing Joseph Tarpany and Tohu Harris. I'm sitting Christian Welch and Max King. If Cam Munster is out, due to the fact that the West Tigers will have already played, I will be forced to play Christian Welch or Max King or Hudson Young. I believe I'm going to play Christian Welch. I'm playing David Fafita. I'm playing Hamoli Olakuatu. I'm playing Britton Nikora. They've just been too good for me this year. All of those 3. Cleary captain. Nico on the bench. Walker, Munster. I could not be happier with my 5/8s and halfbacks. I have Alex Johnson, C&K, vice captain. I just like the upside in New Zealand. C&K has been phenomenal. And there's not too many guys that you just think can score 140, 150 on any given night. I'm playing Joey Manu. I'm playing Ruben Garrick. I'm playing Nick Meaney after he played well last week. And the Storm have a really good matchup this week. Kalen Ponga, Latrell Mitchell. Bring it on.
Ooh, man's ready. Man's ready for a fight. Speaking of a fight, I mean, I don't really need to speak through my team because it's relatively similar to you, and I think it's probably easier for us to just look at what this looks like from a comparison point of view because we're playing each other this week. So they give us a little bit of a look at unique players, and this is who it is. Unique players this week. We're looking at, where did you go? There you go. Ronaldo Mulatalo, I'm playing, you're not. Obviously, you don't have him. So it's Ronaldo Mulatalo versus Joey Manu. We've both got C&K. Where's C&K? Have you got VC on him?
Yeah, I've got VC.
Is that why it's not showing up?
Yep.
Thought so. We both have Munster. I've got the captaincy. You don't.
Yep.
I've got Isaiah Papali'i. You have Eli Katoa. We both have Latrell Mitchell, but you have the captaincy on him. Then we've got Nick Meaney versus Greg Marju and Damien Cook versus Reed Marnie. And then who am I missing here? C&K. So, you've got Cody Walker as a bit of a different player as well.
A smoky in there. So it's basically the way that I see it. So Isaiah Papali'i, I've actually dropped out I believe Supercoach just hasn't updated. So basically, it's Cody Walker versus Eli Katoa, and I'm captaining Cleary. You're captaining Munster. That's the only real difference I see there.
Yep. I'm a little bit nervous about Nick Meaney, if I'm completely honest. He's got the goal kicking. He's got a beautiful matchup. The Storm could put 50 on the Dragons this week. So I'm nervous about that.
I think Cody Walker could be good as well, but I am a very nervous non-owner of Greg Marju. I think if anyone can hurt me on your team, it's Greg. He's hurt me all year.
Yeah, could be interesting. And I'm obviously bringing in Eli Katoa this week, so I really like that play purely because right edge second row has scored the most tries against the Dragons. Jerome Hughes is in probably career best form, or at least season best form right now at the moment with what he's been doing the last fortnight or so. So that's why I'm bringing him in. So obviously I've punted Jermaine Hopgood. You did that maybe 3 weeks ago now.
Yep.
So I don't. Yeah, that's the play I'm making this week. One trade.
Call it Ducks and Drakes, but there's a genuine chance if Munster's out and I have to play Christian Welch that I use a panic trade and get Eli Katoa in.
Yeah, because realistically, if you're ahead in this matchup, right, and CNK goes massive and you get the loop, for instance, you could then match my Eli Katoa and probably end up winning the matchup or going close to it. Yep. So, and I think that's probably what I'd recommend everybody does if you're in a head-to-head semi-final that's important to you, that's cash involved or whatever, or that you want to make sure you win. Have a look and see how you're tracking maybe Friday night after the final game on Friday night, and make a decision then on what kind of trades or moves that you need to make, or how you need to play your captaincy, whether you need to match a player from the opposition or whether you need to pot up if you're behind, because there are a few different ways you can approach that. But you've got to be pretty savvy or thrifty with your trades, I think. Pretty flexible with head-to-head.
Can I tell you what I'm most disappointed about when I look at your team?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I brought Eli Katoa in for the run home and then he had that scratched eye for 4 weeks and I got rid of him. I made some really good trades. I think that was around the time that I brought in, Olakawat. Oh, actually, that was when I brought in Nikora. So pretty happy still. But gee, I wish I had him.
Yeah. You've made 2 really good trades this year. One was Hudson Young just before Origin, and then he got picked and you traded him. And then Eli Katoa was another one that you had to move on after he got injured. So I feel for you, kind of. Not really, but tough. That's Supercoach. No other comments? I'm pretty sure it looks like we're good, guys. We'll get close to wrapping this stream up, I think. Captaincy, vice captaincy, we've talked about. We've talked about our trades. We've talked start, sit. I'm playing for feeder. I'm playing Ponga, Hines, and Marju on my 4 reserves. I'm sitting Hudson Young. I don't mind the matchup, but I'm sitting him. Max King, Christian Welch, and Reid Marnie are all sitting for me as well. So nothing out of the ordinary, nothing different there. But guys, if there's any last-minute questions, throw them in. Obviously, don't forget, standardsqueeze.com, Insight15 is the code. Get yourself 15% off all of this stuff there. And also Ryan at Astute Newstead as well. So you can get in touch with him. All of his description or all of his information is in the description below in this video. Obviously, if you're listening to us on audio as well, it'll be in the description there too. Terry King, what a legend. His favorite show. I mean, probably watches one show, to be fair, but I'm glad you're our favorite. Thanks, mate.
He watches this in Home and Away.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I'd like to think we're better than Home and Away. Fucking hell. What a show. Bold and the Beautiful, 4 p.m. Guys, thanks for hopping on with us as always. Hit subscribe. Please hit like. Drop your comments afterwards if you're watching on delay. If you have any questions for the week ahead, we'll still answer them in the comments as well once this video is done. So we've got one last one coming in. Rowan's asking us if he should grab a Sahi or Saki from the vending machine. I think Saki's a little bit stronger, isn't it? So get on that.
Can I be completely honest? Get them both.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're all about at Insight Fantasy Sports. We guzzle. We don't drink, as you would have found out on Tuesday night. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hopping on. All the best this weekend. Hopefully plenty of green arrows. We'll see you Sunday night for the Sunday Sesh weekly wrap-up. Have a good one.
Cheerio.